Peace and blessings, family. I'm your brother in the struggle, Alif. Today we want to decipher what is a written acknowledgement. A written acknowledgement for a nonprofit organization is basically a receipt from your nonprofit with the name of the nonprofit on the caption, your contact information. It could be the address, it could be a business address. If you're from the hood, most likely it's going to be your home address. You put a phone number on there. It could be your personal cell phone number, a landline. You could go to Walmart, get a little cheap phone, or Obama phone, or whatever. You just put a phone number on there. You should have an email on there. You can get a Gmail account for free, whatever. But your contact information should be on there. And your EIN. Your EIN is what the IRS refers to as the EIN, or the Employee Identification Number. Your EIN for your nonprofit is basically like the Social Security number for your business. Like in the United States, most people have Social Security numbers. I say most people because I was born in this country. I'm a so-called naturalized citizen. My mother and father was born here, but I never in my life had a Social Security number until I was like 30 years old, because my mother had what you would call, a natural birth. So, I wasn't born in a hospital and things of that nature there. So a lot of people in this country, especially people that deal with midwives and stuff like that, back in the day, I was born back in 1965. So you don't have a lot of the traditional stuff. Like I never in my life had a so-called birth certificate. They gave me like 20 something years later, when I was like 25, they gave me what they call a certificate of birth. But I never had a birth record. I never had a birth certificate from any doctor or any hospital. No doctor physically delivered me when I came out of the womb of my umi, or my mother. My abu, my father, and my mother. I was born under those type of circumstances, and as such, I was able to navigate and move in this country for the past 57 years. And still, move in a mathematical way, or Islamic way, if you will. So basically, one of the things that Reverend T.D. Jakes, all of the mega church guys, all of the super PACs, all of the rich politicians, all the stuff you see in the media, you notice when Trump was talking all this wall stuff, everybody focused, oh, they racist, they trying to stop the mess. They was getting money. And it eventually leaked out like, no, they was raising millions and millions of dollars tax-free as an IRS recognized 501c3 non-stock nonprofit organization. They just didn't want to put y'all down with the game. Everybody think, oh, they racist, this. They laughing all the way to the bank. You gotta understand, that in that corporate world, it's the same as the streets. You can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game. You hate anything. Quit being distracted by the tricknology. They gonna throw the trick out there and mix it up with some real knowledge. But the basic thing that you want to know in the hood for yourself is the way the game operates is like this. Like, like we on the road right now. There are nonprofits that have more trucks and cars than is on this highway. You got nonprofits like the Red Cross, United Way, Save the Children. They get real estate, they get land, they get helicopters, they get yachts, they get checks cut, they get grant money. They like, I don't have a car, I got like 80,000 cars. You got nonprofits be like, we got donated 6,000 cars in 60 minutes. So that's how it operates, and it's legal. I'm not talking something illegal. I'm talking about how to do this thing legally, stay above ground. Keep COINTELPRO, the FBI, the CIA, the IRS. You keep them off your back. They be like, they'll peep at you, but they be like, oh, she's cool, he's cool. They doing it legally. They not gonna hate you. They may hate the game, but they're not gonna hate you. A lot of Democrats hate super PACs, but the Supreme Court said, listen, a nonprofit super PAC is a person. You can sue a business. You can sue McDonald's. You can't sue or touch the CEO's money, the chief executive officer's money. You can't touch the chief financial officer, the executive secretary, but you can sue McDonald's. And if McDonald's owed too much money, if McDonald's poisoned people and got sued, it was great. They'd be like, oh, we filing bankruptcy. You ain't touching our money. But that's how it's legally structured. You know what I mean? And you can do that with your home, your car, your trust, your living wills, what have you. You know what I mean? You know, you gotta understand how this thing operates. You know what I mean? I'm not talking illegal sovereignty and none of that kind of stuff. I'm talking common sense mathematics. You know what I mean? God's add and multiplies, the devil's divide and subtract. You know what I mean? But in the past, our old heads told us the game was not to be told, the game was to be sold. So they didn't put us down. And we wind up in the penitentiaries, in the county jail, the youth study centers, shooting each other, smoking dust, drinking 40s, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I mean? So my thing is to put you down with the game, to put you down so that you won't make the same mistakes we made. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go through hell. You could go straight to heaven. Not in the sky. You build your heaven right here on earth. The kingdom come, thy will be done on earth right here as it is in heaven. You know what I mean? You know, the real Jesus. You know what I mean? The Jesus us. You know what I mean? Get this paper. You know what I mean? Make it happen. But that written acknowledgement and ghetto language works like this. If your homie gave you $10,000 cash, you give him one piece of paper, written acknowledgement. He files that with H&R Block. He go on TurboTax and Intuit or whatever, files taxes. He gets back 50% of that money. He gave you 10 stacks, he get back 5,000. He gave you $1 million, he gets back 500,000. You know what I mean? If a rapper got an advance for $1 million and they got to pay 30 to 40% in taxes, they lose 300, 400,000. If the rapper took $1 million and gave it to their homie's nonprofit, the IRS will give them back 500,000. Wake up, shake up, let's make it happen. Peace and blessings, family. The game is to be sold to yourself and told to yourself, because you have to do it for yourself. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it and make it happen. Peace.